Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn, Supportive Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, which I'm very much enjoying at this point, I have to say. Put that there for a minute. What do we have for Cancer? Alright, we got a lot of cards popping out here, so let's see where this is going. We're going to throw that there too. No. Okay. Alright, so you have a little bit of a hidden aspect going on here. Coming into this situation, you have a lot of strength. A lot. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because the two cards pulling your energy in are both the King and Queen of Swords. Sorry, let me just put that over. King and Queen of Swords. It's also coming in with the Porcupine Spirit is the way you're coming off, which I don't feel bad about. Now it says time for beginner mind, which it seems like a riddle to me. So there could be kind of a riddle me this attitude with that. But what I'm getting with porcupine, like, I think porcupines are beautiful animals. I do. But they're also the ones who, like, if you charge at them and they put up their quills, you're going to have a really tough fight. I know when there's porcupines out in my backyard, I live out in the country, I don't let my dogs out there. I'm very careful with that. I keep them on a short leash because, you know, dogs, certain dogs especially, if they have a problem or they kind of attack an animal, they're going to end up with a bunch of quills and it's going to be a mess. Not that I want them attacking animals anyway, but you know what I mean. So, porcupine is very good on defense, and that's what I feel from porcupine. So I feel like you're very strong when you start off with this, strong with your communication, strong where you're standing, strong what you're communicating, and you're making it very, very hard for people to stand against you. Kind of like if they push back, you're like, well, the defenses are on high. Don't mess with me. I'm not in the mood. Listen, I'm telling you how it is. This is where we're going with it, and I'm not putting up with bull. You got a lot of strength here. Defense is very good. But you also have the Magician is what you're pushing into the environment. Ironically, even though you're very strong and holding your own, you are co-creating. So you are listening to other people. But there's certain things, like if you have it in your head, like it's going to be on this day, or it's going to be this way, or it's only going to cost this much. Like if there's certain aspects that you're like, this is how that has to be, you have to fit this requirement into this situation, you're not backing down on certain things. You're like, I want this, this, and that. As long as you put those three in, we're cool. If you can't do one of those, I'm not standing for that. I will back this up. I will not take that. I will defend my position. But you got to include these things. And that's what you're saying. You have to include these things. I will co-create to a point, but you got to work with me. You got to work with what I want. You got to put in what I want along with whatever you want. As long as what I get it, well, as long as what I want is in there, we can work this out. So you are co-creating. You're just like very strong. Like, but these certain things are going to stay. These certain things will not be negotiated. There's a reason they're explaining that strong energy for you, because the energy you're coming up against is the Eight of Swords and the, is that the Queen or no, Princess of Cups, which is the Page of Cups usually. But with the Princess and Prince in this deck, it kind of slides back and forth which one is the Page and which one is the Knight for when I read, because I don't see one stronger than the other the way I read, so just to be fair. And I'm kind of getting like a fluctuation with this. I feel like that's very important here. Like the intensity comes back and forth. Sometimes it's more of a Knight energy. Sometimes it's more of a Page energy. Sometimes, you know, more of an aggressor. Sometimes more of a listener. It goes back and forth. And I'm getting like whatever the requirements you want, whatever you're going against, or whatever you're coming up against, I should say, it's not really wanting to include all those things. It's kind of like, well, 1 and 2 is okay, but not 3. And you're like, well, 3 has to be there. I said all 3. Well, we can't do all 3. Maybe if we just do 3 and not 1 and 2. And you're like, no, 1, 2, and 3. This is not a negotiation. We have to have all 3 components in the situation. We can color it any way you want, as long as these 3 things are included the way I want them. So you're getting some resistance here, but they're realizing you're not going to back down. That's the 8 of Swords. They're not really liking it. There's fluctuation on the intensity about what you have to deal with and what you have to work with here. But you do finally work this out, is what I'm getting. I'm also seeing, like, once those, for example, I'm getting like 3. It doesn't have to be 3, but that's what I'm getting for a lot of you. There's like these 3 pieces that have to be included. Once that's secure, and I'm getting that with the 7 of Pentacles, which is, I feel like that's securing what you want. I don't really think that's the normal connection with this card, but that's what I'm feeling. The 7 of Pentacles is you're securing what you want. Once you secure what you want, though, you got that 7 of Swords energy, kind of like, what? We locked in those 3 things in this situation. This is what we're doing. What I want's locked in. Okay, we're cool. Do what you want. Do what you want. You're like, do what you want. Yeah, do what you want. It's fine. I don't care. Once that's secured, there's no more problems at all for you. You're like, okay, cool. Okay, great. As long as I got those things, do what you want with the rest. You're not looking to drive it. You're not looking to kind of run the whole show. As long as those things are in place, we're cool. And you kind of like, once you have it secure, all right, cool. Do what you gotta do. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. I don't care. Whatever you want. I feel like that's your energy. Like, whatever you want, it's cool. Whatever. I'll go along with it. I don't care. Those things have to stay in place. Hawk Spirit. This is face down in the reading, but Hawk Spirit shows up next in the situation itself, what's happening. So, what you wanted, what you agreed to has to be honored for this to be okay. I'm getting the energy here is kind of like, it's realizing like that's a condition of the situation. It's a condition of the success. The King of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Two of Wands are showing up here. I feel like somebody's trying to give you a different idea. It's kind of like, okay, so those 3 things, those are secure. And then I almost feel like they're saying, but what about this? What about this? Did you want this too? And there's like this other thing, like this other component. They're saying, but wouldn't you, I thought you'd want that too. And you're like, actually I do. Well, we can't, like, is that, which is more important? Because we can't keep all 3 of those things and do this other component. So if you're really like, those are the 3 things you have to have, we can't do this other one. But I'm just giving you the option to say, hey, do you want this more or do you want that more? And somebody's bringing that forward. Like, do you want this more or do you want those 3 components more? Whatever it is, for somebody it's definitely a job thing, which I know that this is what I'm getting. It's kind of like, I want these hours, I want these days, and I want this department. And those were the 3 things you're asking for. These hours, these days, this department. Something like that. And then somebody says, oh, okay, you can have that. But if you wanted a raise, if you wanted better money, that's over here. That's not over there. And it's not in that department you want. It's not going to have the hours you want. It's not going to be the days you want. So if you want more money, if you want, like, if it's a notable increase for somebody that's hitting for, you got to decide, is the notable increase in money more important, or is the schedule in the department you want more important? And I don't feel like it's an easy answer. I don't feel like it's an easy answer at all, but it comes at you like quick. It comes at you quick. Somebody like, this is like, it's an option. It's good to have the option, but it's a hard option. It's a difficult one. Comes at you quick. The rabbit spirit comes in. Comes at you quick. What does it say? Now, and it's lucky. Yeah, I feel like it's, well, it is lucky. I'm getting it comes at you quick, but it's like it's a good option to have, but it makes things a lot more complicated. Like, oh crap, like I was getting all three things that I wanted: the department I wanted, the days I wanted, the schedule I wanted, but the money stays the same. If I go over there, I lose all three of those things, but I get a notable increase in money, and that's good because like if I'm going to spend my day here anyway. And it's not easy for you to make a decision. You're just kind of like, can I have some time to think this over? They're like, yeah, I'll give you a day. Like, like, you get a day. Just tell me tomorrow. You get a day. And you're just kind of like, what? Okay. You have to just, it's like, it's quick. Because the rabbit spirit, it's coming at you fast. It's coming at you quick. That's also the rabbit spirit, making quick decisions. It's backed up by the Eight of Wands, which is speed. Eight of Wands is speed, quick travel. Which you'll notice the Temperance card right with it. You want to take your time. You're trying. I feel like you're going to try really hard to stall it out, so you get a moment to think it out. Because you kind of want to be like, well, that's more money, but why? Well, if I take that, what am I getting into? Like, what's over there? Like, what is over there? I don't know. The money, yeah, I understand the money, but I don't want to sell myself down the river for money. But I do want that. But not at the cost of my soul. Because, some jobs you get in, not for nothing. Some jobs it's like you sell your soul, not for nothing. And I think most of us know that. So you got the Temperance card. In the environment, for some reason, this works out at first. You got the Hanged Man, kind of like, I'm not ready to make my decision. They're pushing you to make a decision. Somebody's pushing you to make a decision. You're kind of like, I need a minute, I need some time, I need more time. I feel like they're like, we give you a day. You come back and you're like, no, I need more time. They'll come back the next day like, I need more time. I really need more time to think this out. I really need to, because I want to research this option. I want to know if it's really right for me. And you do seem to hold it up here. The Hanged Man is telling me nothing's moving forward. You're not losing your opportunity. There is pressure here to make a decision. You got Temperance. So the pressure, and then you do seem to get it to slow down, but there's still pressure to like not take too long. So you get I feel like that's why we got the Eight of Wands with the Temperance, kind of like there's pressure to move forward, but you're pulling it back and you're like, I gotta research this some more. I gotta know what I'm getting to be a part of. The thing is, whoever's offering you this option, they want you to take that other option. They want you to take the more money. They want you to let go of this other situation with the three terms you want, and they want you to take the more money. For some reason, that's better for them if you take the more money, take the other option. That's one of the reasons you're allowed to, because they're afraid if they push you too hard, you're going to go for the three that you originally wanted to. That's not what they want you to do. That's why they're holding off. They've got Rhino with the Nine of Wands, which Nine of Wands is holding their ground. They're holding back. They're waiting. They're still trying to push you forward, but they don't want to push too hard because they want you to take this other option. Rhino says overcome any obstacle, which Rhino can be very stubborn. The energy I'm feeling from Rhino is very stubborn. That's what I'm feeling. Kind of like they want to push forward the way they want to. They're trying to get you to do something else and trying to make it very appealing to you to do what they want you to do rather than what you originally wanted to. There's a block here. And what I'm getting here with the Two of Swords is like, there's a block, but you can't hold off for too long. Like, the most I feel like any of you are going to get for this choice, be it a work situation or something else, is a week. A week tops. After that, it starts to crumble. You could lose the whole thing. So, for the work analogy I was giving, those three things they wanted or the more money, you could start losing the whole option altogether. Like, neither. You might end up with neither if you go past a week. So don't go past a week. The pressure gets really strong though, so I don't feel like that's going to be that much of a danger zone. It's not just going to quietly pass you by. It's going to be loud and obnoxious, so you're going to be pressured into making a decision or lose it all, one of the two. How does this end? Great question. Ooh. Now, you got Vulture Spirit. And I know that it's got a crown. Like, they dressed him up with a crown. Him, her, whatever. So, it's very much, I feel it's kind of a spiritual kind of like making, like, it's very making the best out of what you have nothing is wasted. Yeah, making the best out of what you have. It's kind of like it makes use of the leftovers. It makes use of everything. You know what I mean? They have a purpose. People don't think they're that attractive usually, but they do have a purpose. They do what needs to be done. They take care of things. You know, they discard the refuse. They get rid of things that are unwanted. But the fact that nothing's wasted, that makes sense to me, because when I'm feeling this, like you're really researching this, I'm also getting the vulture spirit where people seem to act like it's a big imposing bird and people seem to get really kind of like uncomfortable around this energy. You're in control. The longer you wait, the more somebody seems to be uncomfortable with you because you seem to be exercising your moment of control. It's not a bad card, so some people see it that way, but I don't think it is. You're in the control spot. You're getting that backed up with the Queen of Wands and then the Ace of Wands right on top of it. Be careful what you choose. The Ace of Wands on its side means it's going to go forward. It's just, are you going to hate it or are you going to love it? Keep that in mind. Whatever you choose, you're either going to hate it or you're going to love it. And I can't say it's like, whatever your first three requirements are, you need to look at that and decide why you wanted it. The other option, if you take that, how much is that going to improve your life? What do you lose by letting go of those first three requirements, whatever that is? So whatever you originally wanted, if you let it go, what do you lose along with that? If you go for the new option, what do you gain instead of that? Is it really worth it? Be careful. For some of you, the new option is literally better. Because I'm seeing for some of you, whatever that original requirement you wanted, to you that wasn't going to last forever. It might last a year or two. So if it's just a temporary situation anyway, you might as well go towards the new option. You might as well, if it was just going to be temporary anyway. For others of you, if it really would make you happier to have whatever that originally was, like if we're going to use the business option again, that department, that schedule, that whatever I said, that those certain days, if that would really make your life better, you might want to go with that instead of going towards the money, just for your own personal happiness. Money does not equal happiness. Some people argue with me on that sometimes, or they try to. I just go, okay, if that's what it is for you. I'm one of those people. Money does not equal happiness. Other things equal happiness. Money can help you go towards something, but if it's not connected to a person or situation that you can enjoy yourself, money is not going to bring you happiness. Like, it can be a component of it, I guess, but money by itself does not bring you happiness. I think you know what I mean. You know what I mean? If you have the money but nobody to hang out with, nobody to enjoy it with, you know what I mean? You know, or if you end up in a situation where you have money and that's what people want from you is just the money that you have, that becomes a problem too. So, I don't know, money does not equal happiness. I just get that. Just be careful, like, because whatever the other option is, it draws you in like that. So be careful what you're going for. You're going to have to make a decision. You will go forward with it. And I get, like, whatever you choose, whoever's offering you this seems to be happy. Once you choose, they seem to accept it and they're happy with you. Like, you make your choice, you go forward. The sooner you make your choice, the better. Just be careful. Like, is this going to go left or right? Is this going to be a good choice or a bad choice? Because, again, the Ace of Wands on its side is saying, whatever you choose, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I feel like you're going to know if you really just break it down, what do you get from it? How does think of your life in a month, in 3 months, a year from now. That's a really good idea. If you take visualize each option. If I take option number 1, this is how I feel in 1 month. This is what I think I'm going to feel in 3 months. This is what I think I'm going to feel like in a year. Second option, do the same thing. It should help you get that answer of what you really want. And that's it. All right. Anything else with this? I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.